Okay, Andy, you asked some questions. I'm going to see if I can answer them for you. Hopefully I can give you some of the answers that you require. And then I'll just go into some of my thoughts on this pair. You get that we are trading against a primary trend, which at the time of the trade is down. You say it's a counter trend trade, which is fair enough, but why is it basic price action support resistant trade if it is against the trend? Andy, Strat will obviously correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess it's basic because when Strat started this site, we were only trading price action from support to resistance and from resistance to support. So in Strat's mind, in my mind, that is fairly basic. Once you've been around a little bit longer, probably you'll find it to be fairly basic too. You then ask that if it is then counter trend trading an exception to the boss following rule, and in that case, when can we trade a confirmed swing that is not following the boss's direction? You can trade like that whenever you want to, as long as you understand what, how, and why you're trading it. So you need to come up with rules and criteria that would meet your trading style and personality. Trade 4. At the date of entry for trade 4, the boss is up. Why do you say you are trading back in the direction of the primary trend in this case? Andy, I think when Strat refers to the primary trend, he's looking at the big boss. He's looking at, in this pair, we're going from bottom left to top right. The primary trend is up. Over time, with the advent of TAO trading, etc., that has got distorted, and hence why we're having so much confusion on this site with price action support resistance trading and trend trading. Do you follow the general trend or the recent trend? Andy, again, I think that's something you need to work out for yourself. Some people will say no, but they'll develop a hard set of rules for themselves and they will go with that. If we see we've had a lasting trend, do we then say that the trend may have ended when we see lots of congestion, as in this case? Well, Andy, I think you need to go and read the wiki. I think you need to read 2.17, 218, 219, 220. Go and have a look at those. When is the trend actually ended? In this case, we no longer making we are not making higher highs. We are not making lower lows. So at the end of the day, we are consolidating, but is the trend over? Only time will tell. If 6 comes down and takes out the blue line here, then the trend has not ended. The trend then continues. Ranges are continuation patterns or reversal patterns. All of the following trades are ones that you would have liked to have taken, but at each one the lagging boss would have prevented you from doing it. I'm going to show you just some draw-ups quickly just now as to why I would have taken those trades. If a new trade 6 is happening, then I can see it as range trading at this stage. But when can we decide it? And you're saying OS trading and not, okay, TOS trading are not primary boss trend trading. Well, for me, every trade begins generally as a price action support resistance trade, and from that it develops into a TAO trade. Let's have a look here. Have a look at a trade you're talking about. You've got literally 15-16 bars of support. At the end of the day, your risk is that your reward is basically that, depending when you got in, what you looked at from, and when you decided to get in. For me, that first trade I probably would not have taken because it was against the trend. The next trade, this one here, this one here, I would have taken, because look at the reward, look at the risk. At that point I knew I had the 200, I had resistance, all sitting here, going all the way across to here. So that trade here I could comfortably have taken. My risk was minimal. My risk was that. My reward was back down to support. Happy to take that trade. The next trade, our support still applies. We are below the shadow. You do need to take cognizance of what the weekly is doing, but that's where it comes down to your personal trading style and your risk stroke reward and what you're prepared to take. Were you prepared to risk these amount of pips for that potential reward? The next trade, a short trade down, trade 5. What a beautiful trade, absolutely beautiful. Our entries here down to support, and I know it's always easy in hindsight. Our risk is there. You've got the 200, you've got your resistance, a great trade. Again, we've had trade 3, we've got it all sitting here, all this support again, I am not looking at what the weekly is doing here, but realistically, getting in a trade here on a break above there, things are in your favor from a price action support resistance trade. That's a trade that, yes, I would have taken without thinking too much. Let's come back to your trade 6 now, which we're talking about a trade 6 where Strat on his chart, this one that points down here. Now hold on a second. This is where I would stop the bus a little bit. Look at that. Has my resistance now become support? And the only way I would be taking this trade short is I would need to see price action close below that, which to me is now support. We now also have the 200 supporting it, so before I jumped in and took a short trade, I would take cognizance of what the weekly is doing and make my decision from there, because if you look at the weekly on this pair, it is a little bit of a mess. Let's just get to it. We have finally closed. We've closed above that controlling candle for me. So for me, we're now looking at longs finally on this pair. So for me to be going short, I would need to see pricing closing back down below, which is now support, before I considered taking any more shorts. Andy, I hope that helps. I hope it's made some sense. Take out of what you can, if it's rubbish, throw it away. Thanks, man. Ciao.